My name is Wendy Renfro. I'm a 34-year-old mother of four. 19-year-old daughter, pregnant with my first grandbaby. 17-year-old son, currently incarcerated in the Arizona Juvenile Correction Facility. 15-year-old that's being charged with a Class 6 felony. And a 12-year-old that lives in Nebraska with his daddy. On April 21st, 2009, I couldn't take any more. My mind, my body, my soul, and my spirit had just been broken down of 4.5 years of legal issues with my children, being homeless, an ex-husband that wouldn't work. I finally come out of the closet and met and involved with a wonderful woman. However, knowing that my son was now being charged with a Class 6 felony, I couldn't take any more. So on April 21st, I decided suicide was my answer. I went upstairs, I barricaded myself in my room, dumped out my kids, my pills, about 150 various pills. I was going to take them, but all I kept thinking about was my partner, my kids, and my grandbaby. So I called Southern Arizona Community Mental Health Center requesting for help. I spoke with Karen, a supervisor there. She was made aware of my situation from a previous phone call. However, she treated me like shit and I hung up. She called Tucson City Police Department to come out and do a well check to make sure I hadn't killed myself. When they showed up, they asked me if I would go and get help. I agreed. I was transported by an ambulance to Tucson Medical Center in Tucson, Arizona. This was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At 9 o'clock in the evening, when my life partner showed up, I hadn't ate, hadn't drank, my IV was coming out my hand, and nobody cared, so I went home. Georgina, the social worker from TMC, Tucson Medical Center, called, stated that they could get an order for evaluation on me, that I needed to come back to the hospital. I expressed to her why I would not, and the complaints I had, told her to leave me the fuck alone and hung up. During which time, Tucson City Police Officers Frank and Officer Crean showed up at Tucson Medical Center and spoke with Georgina and obtained the order for evaluation. During Georgina and the Tucson City Police Officers' conversation, Georgina expressed to them that I would resist them. Her exact words to the Tucson City Police Officers were I would have to be drugged, kicking and screaming back to the hospital. So when they left Tucson Medical Center with the order for evaluation in hand, they were expecting me to resist them at all costs. When they showed up at my door, they bum rushed through my house without even telling me or identifying themselves. I shoved them out of my door. I did not realize they were Tucson City Police officers until after they had dragged me 6 feet and thrown me to the ground and put me in handcuffs. I asked them why they were putting me in handcuffs. They demanded to know who I was. I finally told them my name was Wendy Renfro. Now please tell me why you have me in handcuffs. At this time, my life partner opened up the front door to find out who had just drugged her partner out of our door. At this time, Officer Frank from the Tucson City Police Department shoved her viciously to the ground 4 feet from where she was standing into a flight of stairs. My life partner has had a brain tumor removed in 1995, which left her disabled. They did not know this when they viciously shoved her to the ground. I became hysterical. I thought they had killed my partner. I started screaming for them to give her medical attention. I was being told to shut the fuck up. I had no right to speak. I had nothing to say. At this time, I started screaming for my neighbor to come help. My life partner, Tucson City Police Department had just hurt her. I kept screaming. At this time, I was sitting on the ground against a wall of my townhome outside in an Indian-style position. Officer Sheen from the Tucson City Police Department started shoving my head to the ground. I'm a fibromyalgia patient. He did not know my medical conditions. He was killing me. I asked him to please allow me to sit up, at which time I tried to set my neck up so I could feel relief from the pain, at which time he threw me to the ground from a sitting position, punched me in the left side of my face, and proceeded to scrape my face in the rocks of the landscaping of my townhome. Please read my full story, my full statement to Detective Gilbert in the Internal Affairs Department of the Tucson City Police Department. Everything that happened that night that I remember is in this full statement. Please, this is a warning to anyone calling for help from the Tucson City Police Department and or any crisis center. Be aware you may be like I was. All I was doing was requesting help because I felt suicidal. I felt like my life was not worth living.